The purpose of this video is to share what I know about nutrition for fitness. What I know is the result of reading, learning from others, and from personal life experience. This is a summary of what I have found to be useful. I cannot tell you what to eat, but I'm glad to share these methods which have been very productive for me. So when I think about nutrition for fitness, I'm thinking about eating for general health, eating for fat loss, and eating for muscle recovery/growth. In my experience, eating for general health means eating enough foods that give me elevated levels of energy and eating the foods that support my immune function such that my body can heal, grow, and get stronger. For me, eating for fat loss means eating slightly less calories than my body needs each day to carry out its varying functions. By eating between 300 and 500 calories less than my body needs each day, I feel confident that my body will naturally use its stored fat for the remaining energy that it needs. Finally, eating for muscle recovery and growth, for me that means consuming higher levels of protein and consuming higher levels of micronutrients, the ones that are coming from vegetables. So for the rest of this video, I'll go into greater detail on eating for health, fat loss, and muscle growth. And in my experience, eating for health has meant prioritizing larger quantities of leafy green foods such as spinach. I don't worry about whether or not my spinach is quote-unquote organic. With that said, I do prefer to buy raw spinach, the leafy kind that you would find in the vegetable section in a grocery store. To keep things simple, I focus on eating spinach and carrots. It doesn't matter what vegetables you eat. A common recommendation is that you maximize on dark leafy green vegetables and you maximize on bright colored vegetables. Dark greens, bright colors, and let the vegetables be at least 50% of the food that's on your plate. That's my goal. On the days that I'm able to prepare my own food, this is an easy goal to reach. On the days when I'm on the road, this is a slightly challenging goal to reach. And eating better foods on the road, that's really just a matter of preparation. It's a matter of packing a food bag and using ice packs if needed. For some, this seems like a lot of effort, but when you're in that ideal state of mind, meaning when you have appreciated yourself so much that you just feel like someone who is hot right now, when you do this, taking 30 minutes to prep food does not seem like a big deal. And in fact, the level of pride that you feel encourages you to regularly prep your food. It really does come down to how you feel about yourself. When you feel hot and you have a nutrition goal in mind, everything that you do is going to be something that you are energized and excited to do. You're going to get your results. Let vegetables be at least 50% of the food that you eat and drink at least 4 liters of water a day. That's what I do. I'm not perfect. Some days I don't eat all the vegetables that I want to. Some days I don't get all the water that I want to get, but I'll never beat myself up for this. Instead, I just take this one day at a time, and each day is a new day, completely unaffected by the day before. If I were to eat nothing but junk food on a Sunday, by the time I wake up on Monday, as far as I'm concerned, Sunday is irrelevant. Monday is now what matters. If I were to eat the ideal diet on Monday, by the time I wake up on Tuesday, as far as I'm concerned, Monday is now irrelevant and Tuesday is what matters. No matter what I eat, I choose to always appreciate myself and appreciate what is going well with my body in the present, because that's what works. When I do this, my energy levels are peaked and my body rejuvenates. That's what nutrition for general health means for me. Eating for fat loss has been described in another video in this series, but I'll touch on it a bit in this video. A common question in the fitness industry is, can I shed fat and build muscle at the same time? My answer is yes, and this is my preferred method. The benefit is that you never need to sacrifice the lean body that you put time and energy into creating, just so that you can build muscle. To build muscle, the body needs energy and protein. Energy is measured in calories. A calorie is a unit of energy. Just as you need energy to walk and think and to make things, your body needs energy to repair and grow your muscle. Your body needs an amount of energy that is specific to you. With that energy that's specific to you, your body will accomplish a variety of functions, including repairing and growing your muscle. You do not need to give your body more energy than it needs. If you give your body more energy than it needs, your body will just store the energy as fat. Give your body the energy it needs by eating just enough calories for your body to do its job. That includes building muscle. If you do that, you will neither gain nor will you shed fat. Whatever that number of calories is for you, if you subtract from that number 300 to 500 calories, your body will now need to turn to its own fat for energy, and it will do so. This is known as being in a caloric deficit. Eating less calories than the body needs will cause the body to turn to fat cells for calories. Yeah, you can be in this kind of calorie deficit and still your body will have the energy to repair and grow your muscle because your body has fat that it can break down for energy. So you're going to be in a slight calorie deficit and still grow muscle, but the calorie deficit must be slight. In my experience, a 300 to 500 calorie deficit works well. Any more than that and the calorie deficit is too extreme. Your body will budget calories in the way that you budget your money. If you have more dollars flowing into your wallet than you can ever count, you're likely going to spend your money on everything. You'll pay for everything that ensures your survival, and you'll pay for everything that makes you happy. And then with the leftover cash, you'll put that in the bank or in some kind of investment. If your dollars were to be slightly limited, you would still spend somewhat freely, but you would be mindful not to overspend. You would manage your money such that you will survive without question, and you'll still pay for some luxuries here and there, but you'll not go overboard. Meanwhile, if your dollars were to be severely limited, you would rarely, if ever, spend money on anything that you think is a luxury. And your dollars, if they were extremely limited, you might not have enough money to pay for some of your survival necessities, and you would have to decide to go without something as important as a meal or maybe even shelter. Your body budgets calories the same way that you budget your money. If you give it endless calories, you will have a ton of energy. Your body will absolutely carry out luxury functions such as muscle repair and growth. Each of your bodily functions will have ample energy to be carried out, and the extra energy will be stored as fat. If you give your body only the calories that it needs for its daily functions, you'll still feel energetic, but you might not feel as energetic as when you ate those endless calories. You will, however, have enough energy to feel great, and when you're giving your body only the amount of calories that it needs in a day, you're still going to heal and grow muscle along with the completion of your body's other functions. If you give your body slightly less calories than it needs, your body will use its fat in the same way that you would use your bank account when earning slightly less money than you spend. So on a day-for-day basis, you'll continue to survive and thrive, but you know that at some point, you'll no longer have a bank account. Your body knows that at some point, in the same way, it will no longer have fat to use as a backup. Your body wants to have some fat in the same way that you want to have some money in the bank. As to how much fat your body wants, that is specific to you. But I will share that there are a lot of very lean people who are energetic and healthy. That suggests to me that the body does not need to store that much fat. Some of the most energetic and healthy people I know have almost no fat on them. Taking this further, if you go into an extreme calorie deficit, your body will stop executing functions that are not necessary for survival. Sex drive may suffer, muscle growth may suffer, muscle may even be broken down for energy. You may notice that you do not feel energetic. If your calorie deficit continues to be extreme, you may notice that your body is not executing functions that are necessary for good health. An extreme calorie deficit is not a great idea. Yet I've noticed that many people use the extreme deficit because they want fast results. Stay away from the extreme deficit. Use a mild calorie deficit if you want to shed body fat. By only cutting out 300 to 500 calories, you'll drop fat at a rate of about 1 pound per week. 4 pounds a month may seem slow, but by doing it this way, you ensure that your body can perform all of its functions, including growing your muscle. And the question left is, how many calories should you eat in a day? And the answer is, you need to experiment to find out. Without changing your diet at all, just log everything that you eat and see how many calories you've been eating each day. What is that number of calories for you? Whatever it is, subtract 300 to 500 calories and spend the next month eating that new amount of calories and see if you drop a pound or two. If you aren't shedding fat after 4 weeks, subtract another 100 or 200 calories and see what happens after another 6 weeks. This is a foundational learning phase where you're just learning about your body and what it needs. This is not the fat loss stage. This is a learning stage, and it may take a few months, and it's totally worth it. You will, through experimentation, discover how many calories you should eat in a day in order to shed about 1 pound of fat per week. The challenge to you is ensuring that you never feel hungry and that you're always satisfied. Drinking 4 liters of water a day and eating 30 grams of fiber a day will ensure that you do not feel hungry even when in a calorie deficit. As for feeling satisfied, take a look at the video in this series called Follow Your Cravings for Fitness. Here's one last thing to say about growing muscle while shedding or maintaining present fat levels. Your body will use the protein that you eat to make a protein that's specific for your body, and then that protein will be used to grow your muscle as well as to repair any other damage to your body. A common rule of thumb is to eat about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight that you have. Keep it simple. Chicken breast and whey protein. That is the leanest protein you'll find. That's the cream of the crop. Don't settle for less than the best protein that you can get. Chicken breast is best because it has very little fat and relatively few calories. All the while, it has a good amount of protein and it makes you feel full. Many of us are eating between 180 and 200 grams of protein per day when building muscle. This is what I have found to work. Vegetables and water are great for health. A slight calorie deficit is for fat loss. Protein, vegetables, water, and maximum rest are for muscle gain. In my experience, this creates results that most people believe are impossible. But this is not just possible, this is simple. A plan like this creates a major sustainable change over a 1 to 2 year time period. The time will just fly by so long as you're appreciating yourself right now in the same way and to the same extent that you're going to appreciate yourself when you have completed whatever fitness transformation you want to make. Fitness for nutrition. It's easy and it's powerful. Sending good vibes.